Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I'm Stephanie West. I'm an LPC here in the state of Michigan, and today I want to give a very concrete communication strategy that can help create some distance between worrying that we're doing something wrong and giving other people space to just have the emotions that they're having. And so I've talked, on lots of videos about kind of how my brain reads situations a little too aggressively. So something's a 5, I call it an 8, and I have a big reaction. Or my brain perceives threat and something might actually be neutral. And so this is just an anecdote that illustrates a solid intervention that we can use if my brain might be over-responding or if your brain might be over-responding. And so last month, a girlfriend and I went to Greece, and it was such an incredible trip. And this was our first time traveling together. We spent 12 days together. We flew halfway around the world together, and we had a lot of together time. We shared a cabin. We shared every meal, basically. But the one thing we didn't share was a sleeping schedule, which was interesting because that, organically had some disruptions along during our trip. But what happened was on the way home, we were already slated for like a 23-hour trip home, which is exhausting. And then I was going to get up and go to work the next day. And so maybe not great planning on my part, but that certainly matches kind of my intensity of who I am. I have no problem kind of with rapid turnarounds. But what happened on the trip is our initial flight, which was supposed to be 12 hours, instead of leaving at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's instead leaving at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we didn't actually leave the tarmac until like 5:30 in the afternoon. So we're in essence like 4.5 hours delayed from when we were supposed to leave, but our layover once we got to the United States was only going to be about 4 hours initially. So will we make the connecting flight? We have no idea because our layover is now basically non-existent. So we fly the 12 hours and we get to Atlanta. So we go from Athens to Atlanta, and she sleeps basically the entire flight, but when we get to Atlanta, she's very groggy. Now, I don't sleep a wink on the flight, so when I get to Atlanta, I'm just tired. And we get off the flight, and a lot of people around us had already missed their connecting flights. There was a lot of frustration, a lot of distress. And as we're getting to Atlanta, because it's our first stopping point in the United States, you have to go get your checked baggage, and then you have to kind of recheck it so that it can make the connecting flight. So we have to go through that process. Once we got off the plane, we had 45 minutes, and we were at checked baggage for about 45 minutes, unfortunately. And so my friend is getting really ramped up, and I'm feeling agitation, and the whole thing is just really kind of uncomfortable. And so what happens is, she had asked me to like stand in a certain place, and I had the audacity to stand in a different place. And so when she came back, she was like, I thought you were standing over there. And she got pretty ramped up, and I was like feeling pretty affronted at that point in time because it felt like an unjustified kind of explosion towards me. And frankly, again, it wasn't an explosion. My brain tends to ramp things up and read them a little bit more intensely. And so anyway, we get her luggage, we drop it off, and then we get on the tram to go across the airport, pretty certain that we're not going to make the connecting flight anyway, but hey, we're going to give it a go. And so what happens was, she's looking heated, and my brain's like, crisis, abort mission, this is terrible. And so I said to her, and this is the strategy I want to impart to you. I said to her, I need to know if I'm doing something to make this worse right now. I can tell that you're upset. I'm upset too. So you can probably tell that. Am I doing something to make this worse? And she said, well, I'm just really overwhelmed right now. You have clients in the morning, and I'm not going to sleep in the airport, and I'm just really angry because if we didn't make our connecting flight, the next flight was 8 hours later, so we would have had to find some accommodations. And so I said to her, okay, I just need to check in that I'm not making this worse. I've already rescheduled my clients that were early morning, so that's not an issue anymore. If we have to sleep in the airport, it will be what it will be. And she's like, but I'm not sleeping in the airport. Okay, then we'll figure that out if we miss the flight, but we have a few minutes, let's go and try to make it. But the strategy of saying, I need to know, am I making this worse right now, was my way of saying, you're allowed to be angry. You do whatever you do. This whole situation kind of blows, frankly. But if I'm doing something to make it worse, I need to know that. As soon as she said, no, it's not you, I'm just angry or I'm just upset, I'm absolved from having to tend to her or worry about my emotions or what am I doing. I just get to be there and sit next to my friend who's upset, and that's okay too, because I'm upset too, because the entire situation just kind of sucked. And so what we can do is we can communicate or express to someone, hey, my brain is reading it that you might be upset with me. I'm not sure if that's true. Am I accurate? Am I doing something right now to make this worse? Now, perhaps she had said to me, yes, Steph, why did you do A, B, and C? Or why did you stand over there? and we would have had to navigate that tension point where I could say like, well, I'm a grown female, I can kind of stand wherever I want. But we love each other, and our desire is not to attack one another, and it was just a stressful day. And so for me to say to her, hey, am I doing something to make this worse? That's me checking in with her. But that's also me saying, you get to be upset. I'm upset. This whole situation is just kind of gross. That's part of just living life and getting to go be a world traveler. That's going to be part of it that we have to navigate. But once I knew that I wasn't making it worse, I just kind of sat back, and she could have her emotions and I could have my emotions. And I didn't have to worry about, what does this all mean? But I didn't let my brain create story that I had done something wrong and I need to manage her emotions and I need to worry about the situation more than what was accurate. So check in with someone, and you can ask the question, am I doing something to make this worse? And if you're not, just step back and give space and grace and say, okay, you take care of you, I'm going to take care of me, we're grown adults, we can do this. And then you don't have to kind of over worry about or spend energy on whether or not someone's actually mad at you, because you've taken the time to clarify and communicate effectively. Hopefully that's helpful.